Welcome to AbilityMKE Now. My name is Sue Roskopf. AbilityMKE Now is a show all about integration, bringing people with disabilities and those that don't have a disability together, enjoying life here in the Milwaukee area. We all have different abilities, and here at AbilityMKE Now, we dive into this topic of diverse abilities. The concept of disability hits a wide range of possibilities. We could be talking about physical or mental disabilities, the deaf and hard of hearing community, blindness, chronic pain, mental health diagnosis, goals of substance use reduction, and the list goes on. We all have our own experience with disability, whether it's our own, with people we know, or with people we encounter in our daily lives. Here at AbilityMKE Now, we break down the barriers and celebrate the ability in all of us. And joining us today as not only as my co-host, actually he's taking a bit of a different role this evening. I am actually going to be highlighting all the things with Michael Martin Humel. Michael is a writer, speaker, and podcaster who works to bridge the gap between disabled and able-bodied people. And Michael, I am so happy to have you here as always. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. It's good to see you as always. I'm just sad I didn't see you much last week.
Well, and you missed a good one last week, so that's okay though. You know that's why those replays are available, so you can still tune in and see or hear all the good things that took place. But share a little bit more here. You want to give everybody a little insight into who is Michael Hummel.
My name is Michael Hummel. I'm from New York, but I've been in Vegas for 24 years. I have a birth defect called spina bifida, which is when I was born, my back didn't fully form. My spine was exposed, and that damage was done to the nerves. And as a result, I was just paralyzed. And the doctor who examined me told my mother that I would never walk, talk, feed or dress myself, and I should probably be institutionalized. And that was 1978, so it was a while ago. And then, thankfully, they kept me. And my gratitude starts with my parents because they allowed me to not be in an institution. So I've done a lot of writing. I graduated college with a journalism degree. I played wheelchair basketball for on and off for 30 years. And about the last 8 years, I've been writing and speaking and podcasting and doing a thing called Wheels and Warriors, which is my mission right now in life is to end the judgment and assumptions surrounding disability and bring disabled and able-bodied people together. The way I do that is by writing, speaking, and podcasting. So I've been on stage and I've been writing most of my life.
Excellent. Well, and that's why we are blessed to have you with us here, and being able to add what's happening here, add to it by having all that amazing background that you have, the experiences that you've had, and I know a couple of things. One, I'm aware of a monthly event that you host. You want to tell us a bit about what that is?
Um, about 4 or 5 months ago, I started a speaking event on Zoom called Stories of Diversity. I basically host 5 to 6 speakers, and I have them do a theme, whether it's this month is disability in a medical world. Last month was disability in the education, and then I have them speak for 20 to 25 minutes on that topic, and then I just go from person to person, and then that's it. And then I do that every third Saturday of every month.
And if people want to be able to tune in, is this something that's available out there, or do you need the link itself to be able to participate, or how does that work?
It's on Zoom. Anybody that wants it, or if they want it, you can go to my email, and then Other than that, you have to be on Facebook to catch it live.
Ah, so live on Facebook, and I'm assuming it's in a group on there, or is that on your personal page, or where is that
Um,
located?
my co-host and friend David shares it, and then
Ah, okay,
I have to share it from myself.
perfect. Now I know you do some podcasting as well. You want to tell us a bit about your podcasting?
I have two podcasts. One is called Stories of Diversity after the Might event, and I basically just talk to disabled people or people within the disabled community or their families and find out their story. And I basically just interview them and promote them and talk about them and bring awareness to their disability in their lives. And the other one is called Empowering Discussions with a Disabled Man. And basically, what I do there is I bring on a able-bodied person, and I have them ask me questions if they have any about disability, anything they want, and then I interview them so that way they can learn about me and my disability and disability in general, and then I can learn about them and what they're doing.
Excellent. I love that. Because what better way to get insights than to be able to be open to that conversation? That's
Yeah.
part of why we are here to be able to have those conversations. And so, can I ask then? So, are you a wheelchair user yourself?
Yes, I have I birth defect called spina bifida. I am mostly a wheelchair user. I can walk with crutches, but I don't because it's just quicker to get around in my chair. And basically, if I go out and walk anywhere and then I don't have my chair, I'm kind of screwed and I don't have anywhere to sit. So I always have my chair.
Nice. So, what is I'm kind of curious when you're out and about. What kind of interactions do you end up finding with people? Are there like kind of different populations of people that you encounter? As far as I've heard of people being a little overly helpful, or can you want to share just a little bit as far as from the perspective of somebody who uses a wheelchair? What are some of those experiences like when you go out into public?
Overly helpful is definitely one of them. Because they all just jump up and want to open the door for me, and like I can't do it. And I get a lot of older people thanking me for my service, thinking that I was in a
Interesting.
war. Yeah. So it's basically those two things. And the over when people say thank you for your service, it doesn't bother me. I just say thanks and or I didn't serve and then go on. The thing that bothers me most is when people are overly helpful because they take it upon themselves to push me. And like I get weird when someone who doesn't know me tries to touch me because it's like, do you want to hurt me? What do you want to do to me? And I get very people in wheelchairs and disabilities are very vulnerable uh, in any way. So when they're touching me, they don't know me. You don't know what they're thinking, what they want to do. So that's the thing that probably bothers me the most.
Yeah, some kind of assumed closeness that they have no reason to assume. It's
Yeah.
kind of interesting. That is actually one thing that I've a friend locally here that we do a lot of adaptive water skiing with, and that's something that he was the one that educated me on that. That he's
Yeah.
like he told me the story of just like you're wearing tennis shoes, you don't want somebody else putting your shoes on and walking for you. My chair is my wheel, my wheels, my feet, my transportation piece
Yeah.
here. It's like this is who I am, this is what I do, this is how I get from point A to point B. What do you
Yeah.
think I do when you're not here? He's like, and he educated me on that same concept of, although it's well intentioned, Please
Yeah,
ask. You know,
it might be bone tension, but we don't know. And
right.
like the way I look at it is like you said, my wheelchair is like my legs. They're part of me.
Hmm.
So and people who are able-bodied don't get that disconnect. They don't get that like, how it's different from us to them.
Right. Yeah. And until somebody points that out and actually educates people about that,
Hmm.
I've seen it. I'm sure in the past I've done it at some point. Like, oh, let me help you. Well,
Hmm.
why? You
Yeah.
didn't ask.
Perfect example. Like I'll be in a park and someone will come up to me and just start pushing me because they think it's hilly and grassy and hard to go, whatever. And I'm the way where I go is if a friend of mine is with somebody else and they are like they broke their leg or they have a brace, whatever. It's basically the same thing as someone coming up to you, scooping you up, and walking you up the ramp.
Not comfortable, is it?
No, no,
It's like, I don't know you. Why are you doing this?
pretty
Don't
much, yeah,
touch me.
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, and I've observed that too, and it's something that most of the time, what I've observed has been somebody who meant well, but didn't take the moment to ask. It's one of those, just ask, have a conversation. Just
And
because you're in a
that's
wheelchair doesn't mean I can't talk to you,
yeah,
right?
that's the thing. That's what I've been teaching is have the conversation because the more you talk, the more open you are, the more vulnerable you are, the more you're gonna learn. And
Because
like the way a saying that I love that came up with a few years ago was vulnerability is the best place to grow.
ooh, yes, I
Yeah,
love that.
yeah. I just think if you are unsure of how to proceed with a person who's in a wheelchair that you see might need help, like you said, ask if they don't, they don't.
Because realistically, who is the one that's walking into the situation and apparently the uncomfortable one? That
Yeah.
they feel like, I just need to do things for this person. Who, I mean, yeah, they're likely the one that's uncomfortable and trying to figure out what do I do? What do I do? It's you're just another person, right? We're all
Yeah.
people here. Talk, have a conversation, and ooh, actually another one that made me think of is again somebody may have somebody with them who's a caregiver of some sort.
Hmm.
And who is the person to have the conversation with? If I have a question for you, am I going to talk to you or am I going to look at your caregiver? And I don't know if you have somebody who comes with you, but I know a lot of people do. I'm thinking of a good friend of mine in particular, and that's another one where it's like, what? Just because this person's in the wheelchair doesn't mean you can't talk and to them directly,
Yeah.
right? What?
Yeah.
Why not?
I generally don't go places with anybody that
Ah,
other than like I'll take my wife out to a restaurant for like dinner. But like if I go to like a doctor's office or like a professional's office, I'll try not to go with anybody else because oftentimes what they'll do is the people that work there will talk to whoever I'm with rather than me because they don't think I can communicate.
funny how the assumptions, right? You know that
Yeah,
old saying about assumptions?
yeah,
Assumptions are not cool. And yeah,
no.
having conversations are, yeah, because the friend that I'm referencing here that's local, I mean, he can't drive. His
Hmm.
particular disability, he's not able to drive. So if he's going somewhere, he has to have somebody with them to get him from point A to point B. And so he gets that a lot and drives him nuts,
A, a
because
few a few
what's
years
going
ago,
on?
I went to a doctor's office and he saw my wheelchair and he said, "Oh, how'd you get here?" I said, "My car's in the parking lot." And he said to me, Oh, you can drive like normal people.
Oh, sorry, I caught that. Normal people?
Yeah, that's what he said. And he's a doctor.
Wow.
Yeah,
You mean you're like normal people? Come on.
yeah.
What the heck? Oh my gosh. People just sometimes, don't be afraid to have the conversation, but at the same time, maybe think about what you're saying before it comes flying out of your mouth because
Exactly.
there,
I mean, 'cause
wow.
I'm not. I don't care what you say. I'm not like overly PC and whatever. I don't care. But there's like a couple words that you should not use when talking about a disabled person, and normal is one of them.
Well, oh my gosh. Yeah, that one I had forgotten about that one. That's
Yeah.
come across my ears at some point and and when the person who says it, if do you take the time to point that out to them or how do you typically handle that? Because I'd have a hard time keeping my mouth shut at that moment. Be like, "Wait, what?"
That particular time, I just clammed up and I didn't say a word and I just left after the appointment was over because people have done some stupid things, but that was the first time that anybody had compared me to a normal person. So
Wow.
I just clammed up and I shut up and I just left. So that was just. But if my wife or my mother were there, they would have had that guy's butt.
I can imagine.
Yeah,
Oh, I love it. I appreciate this conversation. That I know there's people hearing this that are sitting back saying, "Oh yeah, I
yeah.
get that." So I know you have a website. We'll tell us what it is. I'll let you go ahead and say.
It's wheelsandwarriors.com.
And
Um,
what is the purpose for Wheels and Warriors? And that's a letter N, not the word and in the middle. It's the
no,
letter
it's
N.
the letter N. The purpose is I'm turning it into a magazine, an online magazine. Basically, it's just highlighting disability, inspiration, resilience, and just positivity.
Perfect. I love that. We all need more of that in our world. So all the things that you are sharing with everybody, being able to be educational and talking about the things that people sometimes don't know how to talk about. It's okay to have a conversation about what is disability? What does that mean? How do we
Yeah,
interact? How can we make life better for all of us, right?
yeah, exactly. And I like conversations. I like talking about things and explaining things and going as deep as they want to go. And because I don't care, I'll tell you anything you want to know. I'm an open book because I think the more we talk about it, the less it'll become an issue down the road.
The more commonplace these conversations can be, the more comfortable they become.
Yeah,
And yeah, it opens doors,
I
and
mean,
we all need more open doors.
overall, there's always going to be someone who's ignorant and doesn't know things and is like thinking us to assuming that we can't do things. But like I said, the more we talk about it, the more we explain the differences between the disability, the less people will think we're different or we can't do something.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, we all, it's that whole concept that we start with every time we are on here. We all have different abilities,
Yeah.
and you definitely can do things I can't, and I can do things you can't, but that is the same for all of us. We all have things that we can do that we're really good at. And that's where, if we can celebrate what those are for each of us individually, we are all so much better together.
Exactly.
So, well, and I know we do have another wonderful friend that is here to join this conversation as well. We all know and love Marianne of Waikiki. She is here with us. Marianne with actsofkindnessseries.com. Marianne, how are you?
Okay. Aloha, Milwaukee. Thank you so much, Sue. I'm Marianne of Waikiki, and I'm the author of the Acts of Kindness series, an Apple game developer, and created coloring books. So we got some great products, and we're excited to support DonorsChoose.org. Teachers can go on donorschoose.org and they can request school supplies for their classrooms. They have different things that they can a la carte and order off of Amazon or Walmart. And I had a teacher in Hawaii request 50 books of my first book, Underwater Acts of Kindness, for ocean cleanup of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. And she was funded in 2 weeks. And Amazon shipped the books out. I went to go visit the class, and we passed around the puppets. And I taught the ABC, ASL fingerspelling alphabet. Well, now I have a YouTube kids channel with Dr. Fingers, the fingerspelling hermit crab, teaching the ABCs, and Chelsea, the courageous sign language chicken, and Eve, the fingerspelling bumblebee. And we have Greta Gobble on the golf course who counts golf balls in sign language numbers. So through the years and grant funding, we were able to continue to produce my thoughts to actions here. We have a second book called Rabbit Acts of Kindness, No Bully. And, you know, it's the end of August here, back to school season, and October is anti-bullying month. So this is a great opportunity for teachers to go to Donors Choose and request products for their classroom. And we just want to share that with your local Milwaukee. I'm sure there's several teachers out there. So listeners, if you have a heart and you want to help these and support these classroom teachers, um, go and do so. And we just finished a book called Cool Acts of Kindness for Climate Change, featuring Water Flow, the deaf whale. And we partner with Leon McLaughlin, Clean Water Foundation out of Seattle, Washington. And last year I won the Awesome Grant Foundation Award. So we gifted the Hawaii School for the Deaf and Blind a water unit. And also my books, Rabbit Acts of Kindness, No Bully. And then we used some of that money to hire Jay Stoyan, the Disability Channel, so that we could, ripple the effects of the Acts of Kindness series to get them out there. So it's been great fun and good work. And Leon is on his fundraising mission. He was just in was in Las Vegas. We're connecting with Michael to interview him on the podcast. So we've been doing a lot of amazing things on the World of Ability with your husband, Kurt Roskopf, and you, and excited that Nonprofit TV, Anthony, is now showcasing my books on at Denny's restaurants and other small businesses on television. Like, wow, that thought to action, Sue. And so people can start seeing the books, the coloring books. You can visit the YouTube Kids channel, the Acts of Kindness series, and Apple app games. And so go out and play is our tagline. And we're working with On the Mark TV and Easy Way TV. We're going to be getting these out on the networks. And I just got a shout out from Anthony if I could do a speaking thing. So more to come. So we'll be rolling into the back to school season with anti-bullying month in October. Then we go to whale watching season. And then Cool Acts of Kindness is about a spring break camp on the Big Island and learning about clean, fresh drinking water, which is all our birthright that we deserve. And we're recognizing all the amazing organizations that are out doing that. So thank you so much for having me be here.
Excellent. Always so glad to hear about all the amazing things going on with the Acts of Kindness series and all of the things coming up here because it's back to school season, like you're saying. So thinking about those topics like anti-bullying and gosh, coming off of an amazing summer season we've had. Actually, I do need to make sure I mention two big events that just took place locally here. And if you know us, you know we're into water skiing. And we did some adaptive water skiing. It wasn't just a little bit. We did a lot of adaptive water skiing just this past Friday. We are associated with the Lindsay Legis Free Water Ski Club out of Burlington, and we had a full day of adaptive water skiing from starting at 10 a.m. and went all through the afternoon. Last I heard, there was somewhere in the neighborhood of 57 ski runs that took place over the course of that time, which is, I believe, a new record for our group because that was, oh gosh, such a gorgeous day. The weather cooperated perfectly. The excitement level in the group was just outstanding. We had so much fun. We had some folks that were there for the first time. We had a bunch that were coming back from past events. So it was a great electric vibe going on within the group there, and I can't say enough good things about what that all is to be able to bring people together for such fun times like that. And speaking of fun times, there's another organization that does some events at Lake Kesis. So gosh, the Camp Whitcomb Mason. Sorry, just about forgot the name for a second there. Camp Whitcomb Mason. That's been around forever, the way it feels. That is a local camp location on Lake Kesis, and they were kind enough again to be the location for a 2-day event that's called At the Lake event, and that is for people of all abilities, that they get to come on out, and all of the activities are adapted so that they said the big phrase of the weekend was yes I can. If somebody says, can I try this? The answer is yes. Yes, we'll figure this out. We're gonna figure out. There's so many people that were there that are experts in some fashion with with the, oh gosh, with all the different things. There was unfortunately a slow no wake going on. Normally there's adaptive water skiing at this event, but instead there was a slow no wake version of riding on different types of tubes and jet skiing and water sports. They had some of those big trampoline floating contraptions out there. There was kayaking. There was mountain climbing. They had one of those portable walls that they brought out. There's swimming, there was fishing, there was Jeep rides, hay wagon rides, there was a dunk tank, there were, oh my gosh, and I know I'm missing things. That's just off the top of my head what I'm recalling. And the number of volunteers it takes to put that together, and I'm telling you, in recent years here, they have had so many people volunteer that there's been times where we tried to sign up to volunteer and they said, thank you, but we already have enough. There were so many people that are so excited and interested in this event. And as far as participants, as the athletes that are coming to participate, hundreds were able to come and take advantage of all these great things that were out there. Oh yeah, even arcade games. Since there was one of the big things typically is the adaptive water skiing, and since that was not an option, they came up with so many different fun ways to go and just enjoy time at the lake. So I just a huge shout out to that group, and thanks and praise for all that they do to make everyone feel as special as for many. I always hear things like, that's my favorite day of the year. I absolutely look forward to this. So again, we're so privileged to have Marianne and Michael here. As always, we thank you.
Aloha. So